So today I'm going to be doing a bicep and tricep home gym workout, and I'm going to start off probably with biceps and kind of go from there. It should be about a 40-minute workout. I normally try to warm up my shoulders a little and just get a little bit of blood moving in general. With the bicep and tricep movements, elbows are the things you want to kind of slowly warm up, especially if you've been lifting for a while. Those elbows tend to have more problems with these type of exercises. So I'm going to start off with a lightweight 27.5 and start with standing dumbbell curls, not anything crazy, and go from there. So just something light, kind of warm up. It's actually a very hot day today, so I'm going to be sweating a lot. I'm already sweating just doing one set, so it's going to be hot. These type of movements with the dumbbells for bicep and tricep are one of the easiest ones to do if you're multitasking or whatnot. You can watch TV and do these movements and concentrate and kind of get a decent arm workout in with just dumbbells. Probably the best use for dumbbells are arms because there's so many variations you can do for biceps and triceps just at home. I mean, it is nice going to a gym and having all the different cable exercises and the barbells and the different machines and whatnot, but there's all of those can pretty much have dumbbell variations, so you can still get in a really good workout with just dumbbells, if not better. And there's a lot of variety you can do. So I'm moving to the 42.5. Definitely gonna sweat today. I'm not sure why it's so hot. I guess it's summertime and I don't have the air on. But normally where I live, it's working out upstairs. It's not a problem unless it's in July or August. So right now, I've got a couple months before then, so it's getting a little hotter. But I can, of course, control the temperature. And I've worked out at gyms where they don't have enough money for air conditioning, so it is nice where if your place has air conditioning that you can use it to control the temperature and whatnot, but it's not a necessity. The only thing is, unlike a gym where if you sweat everywhere, it's not a big deal, someone else will clean it up. At your house, you want to try to avoid that or have some sort of contingency plan or towel or whatnot. So you'll notice, like on my bench, one of the easiest ways, instead of having to clean the bench up with sweat every time, is just to use a towel, and that seems to work pretty well. So I think I'm just gonna keep the weight here and do another set. Feels pretty good. this and then move on to the next thing. Let's see how much time has gone by. So about 5 minutes has gone by. So just with dumbbells, you can pick up the pace too. You can do supersets and whatnot pretty easily. I normally do like straight sets of an exercise. Then I normally try to go bicep and tricep. If I'm doing 2 muscle groups that day, you can also, like I could do curls and then immediately do like a tricep kickback, or go onto the bench and do a dumbbell extension, a variation or whatnot. But just this being my first exercise, I'm just gonna try to focus on this and then move on to tricep movement and kind of go from there. I did have a little my elbow was bothering me a little a couple weeks ago, so I've been very careful with my tricep movements and whatnot, and my elbows kind of went back to normal, so I'm very glad of that. I think the reason why I kind of injured it was I was just overdoing it. I was doing a lot of tricep movements, and especially skull crusher type movements where the elbow's kind of in a bad position and it's a lot of pressure on the joint. I try to avoid those. I just tend to have a little bit of issues with that. I also don't like the variation of the dumbbell curl where you start out like palms facing inward and then doing the rotation and then up. Feels weird, I don't know. I like to do just out and just focus on the bicep. So you notice my palms are outward, and then I just focus on the I think I'm going to do one more of these. Just sometimes when the exercise feels good and you're still warming up, I like to do that. There's no one really that you have to be worried about at your house, so that's kind of the beauty. You can grunt and make as much noise as possible, or you can do 10 sets of one exercise, and who cares, right? No one's going to look at you weird. So. Not that I've done 10 sets of one exercise, but I mean, it's probably good to mix it up and try it once in a while. I know sometimes when I'm doing dumbbell flat bench presses, which I've recorded like a million times, I think I've done it where I literally went from like 65 pounds all the way to 45, so I did 65. And I did some reps, then I did 80, did some reps, then 95, and then some reps, and 111, and then did some reps, 127, and then did some reps, and 145, I did some reps, and that was very excessive. Especially the weight's not moving that much. I think it just kind of pre-fatigues, but who really knows? I mean, sometimes it's good to just do crazy amounts of reps on one day, just mix things up, do heavy weight on another day. So we do another curl with the 42s and a half. And the trick with dumbbell curls is you can really cheat and use your shoulders and your back and whatnot. I try, although my form's not great, I try to do less weight and try to focus more on the bicep. If you really want to try to eliminate cheating, stay against the wall, do a lower weight. He'll force you can't really cheat that much. It's a good variation to do. I like to do that. That exercise. I'm drinking some loose leaf monkey pick tea. Looks more like monkey piss, but whatever. Okay, so I did that. Now I kind of just want to do biceps, but I'm going to do some triceps now. And I'm going to do some lane tricep extension. And I do a variation where I bring the dumbbell down like this and then up. And I'm warming up right now. And I saw this in a YouTube video one time, and then I just tried it, and I kind of like it. And I noticed that this is especially easy on the elbow, as opposed to the next variation that I'm going to do. So what I'm going to do is, normally I do a variation where I'm laying and I'm doing this, and then I'll do the one arm skull crusher. I'm going to mix it up today and just do the one exercise and kind of bump up the weight and just focus on one exercise right now. Another cool thing about working out at home, I want to use one dumbbell, and I went from a 20-pound handle right here and to a 35 pounds, and I know I only need one dumbbell, so this is actually easier, in my opinion, than when you're working out at a commercial gym, because you're always, okay, I want to get the 70-pound weight. Oh, I want to get the 120-pound weight. And normally they max out at like 120 pounds for most commercial gyms. If you go to like a fancy Gold's gym or whatnot, they can go up to maybe 150. Or if you're going to like a really niche gym, they might have like 200s or something. But that's very rare. And I think if you can do 200 pounds of something, then you're probably a little bit more advanced than just working out at home and watching some TV shows and trying to get a little workout in. So I think I've maybe tried 175 for like a shrug or something, but so these dumbbells max out at 175, or if you're on the lower handle, 167.5. I think actually the Power Blocks got discontinued. This is the U175. I have to look into that. I did see it through resellers, but I didn't see it listed on the Power Block website. Maybe they're not advertising it, or maybe there's just not a huge market. I guess a lot of people don't want to spend like $1,000 on a adjustable dumbbell, but to me it made a lot of sense. Really, there was no alternatives. This was the only option for the amount of weight I wanted to do. Let me see. I'm slowing down my workout. Okay, so we're 14 minutes in. I'm talking too much. So 35 pounds. My natural inclination is to do the superset that I've done a million times, where I do the skull crusher. So I'm still warming up. I want to be very careful with my elbow. The one exercise that I have a lot of difficulty with, and that I just don't like to do because it always aggravates my. I don't even know if I want to show the movement, but basically it's the tricep movement where, and yeah, somehow I have 3 pound. I found these somewhere. I did not buy these, so it's a 3 pound dumbbell. I don't exactly know what you'd use it for, but I have it here. But you basically, this is another tricep variation, and this one you got to use low weight, but I tend to have problems with my elbows on that, so I avoid exercises that's going to do more harm than good. For instance, if I hurt my elbow this workout, well, it's going to affect everything. If I want to back squat, if my elbow's killing me, it's near impossible to back squat with elbow pain. You're just going to make it like 1,000 times hurt. It's not going to go away, and you're going to deal with the elbow pain for even longer. Triceps, you're going to have to back off. Everything pretty much with the arms, so you have to be very careful with your elbows, your shoulders, your knees, your back. It's just the part of lifting as you do it for a long time. So I actually recently read that some people consider that if you're getting injured a lot in one certain type of area, that you're doing something wrong, and that's most of the time true. But I mean, there are freak accidents that happen, and sometimes you'll just never recover the same. So you have to be cognizant and aware of that. So you want weightlifting to be fun and healthy, and you don't want to be in pain, because one, you're not going to be able to get where you want to get weightlifting wise, and you'll be in pain all the time. Okay, so that's too heavy. I'm gonna go down to 42 and a half. So actually, with this this exercise, you don't want to jump too much, because just you won't be able to do it. It's a very lightweight type of movement. I totally jinxed myself. My elbow's starting to bother me. So I'm gonna do one more of these. Actually, I'm going to move on. So, you don't always have to do 4 sets or 3 sets or whatever. Sometimes you're feeling the exercise, other times you're not. Today, I'm just not feeling that one. I'm going to say it's help warm up my triceps. And I'm going to move on to bicep movement. There's so many. What should I do here? How about a concentration? I'm going to do this, so you can, the name is escaping me right now, it's kind of bad. I don't think it's considered concentration curl. It's but basically how I tend to do it at my home gym is actually have the setup to do this with actual attachment, but I'm going to do it with, I tend to like doing this bicep movement with just a bench and going down and then going up. Nothing crazy, just trying to get a good pump, really concentrating on the bicep. And so basically what I try to do for this is not overextend the arm completely, but try to get to like, right, almost that lockout, and then bring the dumbbell back while really focusing on the movement of up and down. It's a constant, it's kind of a pump type of movement where you're concentrating. So this one I did 27 and a half, and then I'm gonna move on to 35s. Again, you don't really jump like crazy unless you can do a lot of weight with this. I haven't really been that great at heavy bicep movements. When I first started weightlifting, I would work out with someone that would do like heavy barbell curls and whatnot, and I wasn't getting a lot of bicep development from doing that. I just was using a lot of other muscles except my biceps, so I tend to concentrate more and try to do lighter weight. Of course, everybody likes to do heavy weight, and I do try it from time to time. I think where it's applicable. And you can probably tell I'm sweating. How far am I? Wow, I'm already 22 minutes in. I didn't expect that. So, wow, okay. So, time flies when you're having fun. So here we go. Again, I'm not trying to overdo it or anything. Just warming up. I'm going to get to a heavier weight here. So there are some people that just like go to failure on every set. I don't like to do that, but I don't know. Different ways to do different things. So I think this is working for me. When I first started working out, my arms were so thin that I could, you couldn't tell where my forearm and my bicep started. It was just a straight, kind of all the way up. So at least now there's at least some definition. So we're at, 24 minutes. So yeah, I bumped the weight to 42 and a half. I'm going to drink some more tea, which is also making me hotter than normal. And I do tea just because that's what I primarily drink. I don't drink a lot of liquids other than water with tea. So here we go. feels really good. So it's 42. I'm gonna bump up a little bit. Give myself a minute. Again, the towel's necessary, especially when you're sweating as much as I am. Whew. All right, so I'm gonna, for my last set of this movement, I'm gonna be doing 50 pounds dumbbells. When I'm working out at home, I can kind of gauge how much time is going by. Well, first of all, if I'm recording, I can tell by how much time has gone by. But normally, most of the time, if I'm working out and I'm watching TV or whatnot, I can go by how many episodes have gone by. And sometimes that's kind of the beauty of working out and watching TV, is that, especially with how television is in general now, most people want to binge watch a show and the next show will autoplay. Well, that's really bad for most people, because they'll lay on their couch, or well, in my case, I lay on the ground. I don't know why, but I don't like laying on my couch. Feels more comfortable on my back. Most people watch multiple episodes of whatever show they're watching. So you can do an arm workout, and if you're just planning on doing like one body part, well, sometimes you can do one body part and you're like, well, I still want to watch TV, so you can do a whole nother body part. So that's the great thing of integrating dumbbells into your lifestyle, and I brought them basically into my house and into the main part of where I live. So I can at any point in time just start working out. So kind of one of the benefits that you just can't get at a gym. You can't go to a gym and watch TV and lift weights. People will hate you, basically. So, yeah, so 50-pound dumbbells. I know sometimes if a basketball game is going on, I'll watch it a little too intently, and like other people who are working out really hard will not like that, because they're using up equipment and space and being in their way. You can tell that's much heavier for me. My form kind of goes down. You can tell that was heavier for me because I was mixing up my stance, trying to tease my ball, get the weight up. So, and people that do more of power movements with these type of exercises, that's what they try to do. They try to get more leverage and get a really stable position. So I've seen people do this type of exercise and do like over 100 pounds in dumbbells, just crazy stuff. And their biceps are really strong, but they're also using other muscles too. So it just depends on your training philosophy. If you try to lift as much weight as possible, if you want to go that route, we can go that route, or you can try to focus more on the muscle and try that route, or you can try to mix it up. It just depends what you like to do. So I've done 2 biceps exercises and 1 kind of tricep. But really haven't been feeling the triceps today, if I'm being honest. I'm gonna try a tricep skull crusher. I hope if this bothers my elbow, I'm gonna just do. Actually, I'm gonna I'll do it. I've already talked about it. So this is 35 pounds, one arm, tricep. I think it's considered overhead extension, or no, then it's called skull crusher too. So, but it's only with one arm. So. Yeah, that hurts my elbow. I'm not gonna do that. Let me just do the other arm, see if that bothers it too. Let's try to do another set. Maybe it's just my elbow's kind of out of position. We'll see. Again, I'm doing 35 pounds. The last tricep movement I'll do, which gets a lot of bad, people do not like it, is the kickback. A lot of people say it's more of a kind of a maybe a finisher type exercise. I actually like it. I get a really good burn with it. Do I know if it's building triceps any better, any worse than more of a mass movement? I have no idea. I do know it's the number one exercise to do if you have any sort of elbow pain, because you can do that movement with zero elbow pain whatsoever. So it's always nice to have those type of exercises where you can do a variation and not encounter anything. So we're about a little over 30 minutes in. I'm going to try another set with the 35s. Again, today might just not be my tricep day. I might do lower reps, so let's see. Yeah, this will definitely not. It's just my right arm today. I think I aggravated it in the previous exercise. This one, zero pain. Kind of disappointing, but it is what it is. So I'm only going to do 2 of those, but I recommend if you're not having pain, do like 2 more sets of the skull crushers, or you can do the 2-arm variation. I don't know why I like to do the 1 arm. Feels a little bit more comfortable. Don't really have a reason. Okay, so now I started bicep curls, then I did concentration curl. I'm not sure if that's considered concentration curl. Now I guess I can do, I like this variation. It's basically you just do a bicep curl like this. again, it's a warming up weight. I like this type of movement because you really can focus on squeezing the bicep and kind of this type of movement, kind of locking it in place. It's a good variation. I actually don't see it that much. I see it a lot in like YouTube videos, but I don't actually, when I'm at the gym, I don't see a lot of people doing this type of dumbbell movement or variation for the biceps. So I've done it for a long time, and I don't exactly remember where I picked it up, but probably watching a video somewhere. But I don't do it all the time, but whenever I do it, I always feel a pretty good pump. So I did 20, 35, and now try 50. Might be a little too heavy, but I'll give it a shot. Again, sweating a lot. Not necessarily because of the pace, but because I'm drinking hot tea, and it's a hotter type day. I used to kind of gauge workouts by how much I was sweating, but that's hard to say because that can just be condition based, whereas if you're working on a hot place or a cold place, so it's not the best gauge to determine. Although if you work out in the same place and it's temperature controlled and you're working out and you have like zero sweat, you might be doing something wrong, or you might be I mean, you should at least have some sweat. I mean, I know it depends on liquids and a lot of different factors, but if you don't feel like you're working out, maybe you're going too easy, or you got to change up your routine or whatnot. Definitely, especially when you're doing the leg day, I'm always like my shirts gets really soaked from just doing all the different exercises and the heavy weight and whatnot. And I try to not have super long rests. The reason why I'm not sweating that terribly right now is, I'm talking on the video, and my rest between sets should be less than what I'm doing, but it is what it is. So this feels a little heavy, but and that's definitely a little heavy for me. I'm cheating a lot with my shoulder, you can tell. Alright, let's see how much time's gone by. Alright. So, what to do? I think I might just write off triceps today. Oh no, I'll do kickbacks. I mean, that doesn't really hurt anything, so. I'm going to start at a really lightweight, do 35s. I've had... Again, really easy on the elbows. And I really feel it at like this part of the tricep. Really get that mind to muscle connection while the weight's within reasonable weight. With this movement, I mean, you can cheat like crazy if you want to. I've had mixed results doing that. I've tried it really heavy and actually my triceps were killing me the next day. But it felt more like a just like swinging the weight, and I didn't have much control. So I don't know. I try to do a little less weight and try to really feel the contraction near the top of the movement right here. It's kind of this, you're only kind of feeling it a lot like from here to here really. And then when you're like all the way back, it's less of a pull. So also, when I have all the lights on for recording, it gets a little hotter too. So. Or I'm just fat. I haven't been doing as much cardio. I've been actually having a lot of problems with. I had a like a fit desk. Well, I have a fit desk for if I want to be on the computer and then I want to do a little cardio on the bike. But I tend to have a lot of pain in this area. So I think just that bike really isn't made for me. I tried adjusting to different levels. Gives me a lot of problems, so I'm gonna get rid of it and try to find something that fits in my space and is small for doing cardio. I really don't know what to get, so. Well, 35 to 50 doesn't feel like a jump. It definitely feels like it to me. Ooh. Let me check the time one more time. I do this a lot near the end of the workout because I really want it to be done. But this is the most important part, finishing your workouts. Basically, because if you always kind of gas out and just kind of focus in the beginning and then kind of cruise and then say, oh, I'm done. Like, for instance, I have a lot of workouts where I do heavier weights in the beginning, more compound movement. Like if I'm doing shoulder day, I'll do a seated shoulder dumbbell press, and I'll try to do my heaviest type of weight for as many reps as possible. Well, sometimes I'll do that and I'll be like gassed, and I'll move in like 2 exercises after that. So like 3 exercises in the shoulders, and I'll be like, oh, I'm done. Well, that's not good, because you want to, get some volume and, work different parts of your shoulder, front, your side delt, and get a more rounded, a better balanced physique. And just from a effort standpoint, you want to be able to always, in terms of performance, you always want to try to keep increasing your level of activity that you do in terms of effort. So effort really is the only thing that you can control. And if you constantly go to the gym and do poor workouts, and you're never going to get anywhere, because you're not putting that energy in that you need to. And when you're exerting a high level of effort, you kind of get into a routine of continuing to do that. Same thing with poor performance. You get into a routine of doing poor performance. So you want to constantly try to keep progressing. The only real way to progress is to keep pushing yourself. heat's getting to me. I should have turned on the air conditioning before I started working out, but it is what it is. Well, I can't complain. My dog's like 2 layers of blankets in his fur, so she doesn't seem to be bothered by the heat. So I'm gonna do, okay, so I moved the weight up a little because I realized as I was doing this set, and granted I rested a little bit more in between sets and caught a little bit more of a wind, that I did with the reps that I wanted to do, which was like 10 or so. And then I just noticed how it's not that difficult. So I'm gonna raise it up a little and go from there. Okay. Well, I finished the workout strong. And I got one more, I think what I'm gonna do, one more tricep, then one more bicep. And I'll show you that in a minute. Here we go. Didn't wait as long, but and I know looking at this exercise on the video, it kind of looks ridiculous, but I definitely feel this pump in my triceps. So if you're just going for a pump, I mean, these are great. Okay, so I think last exercise of the day, but whatever, will be incline seated dumbbell curls. Really concentrate. This weight might be too heavy. Actually, I'm pretty sure it's too heavy, but I'm gonna go for it. Here we go. Well, that's great. A little bit too much incline on the bench. That's why the weight's not as heavy as I normally would expect. And the way I move the weight up a little. But great pump. And I think I'm running out of time here. So I'm gonna try to reduce my time between sets. See how much time I got left. Let's see. Okay. Have to be done pretty soon. Okay. So there we go. And you can do all these movements with much less rest in between. And as time goes on, you'll get more used to the lower rest. I'm just slow. And sometimes it's helpful if you have someone to kind of push you. But most importantly, you should be able to push yourself. So at the end of the day, especially if you're doing home gym workouts, it's probably just going to be yourself working out. So just try to mix it up every once in a while. Okay, you did, let's say you're going for 8 reps. We'll go for 8 reps and try to do a couple more, or do like one more rep and then do a really slow negative. Or on your last rep, just try to do a slow negative, or do extra reps until you can't do anymore. So just try to mix it up and really stimulate the muscle. And this is feeling pretty heavy for my last bicep movement. Whew. And one more. Sweat's starting to get in my eyes. Always annoying. Cool thing is, when you go from having like 0 biceps to at least having a little bicep, then you can kind of get the sweat out of your eyes a little easier because it's not flat. So that's one of the perks of weightlifting. And I noticed that like when I was a teenager and I went from having no arms whatsoever to having just a little slight muscle definition in my arms. Totally changed the way I would wipe stuff off my face. Kind of funny. One of the things. Last one, here we go. Whew. That is it for me. So I did a little bicep and tricep workout. With the triceps, you can do more sets. I showed you the exercises that you can do, and it's a great way to get a little arm workout on at home. Especially, I think the heaviest weight I did was a little over 50 pounds, which if you buy most adjustable sets, it's not a significant cost, unlike my set, which has a pretty steep cost to it, if you can even find it, the reseller. So that's it for today's workout. Hope you enjoyed. Thank you.